I was watching Club Shay, and Shannon Sharp had brought up to Gillie that Charleston White had apologized about disrespecting his dead son. And Gillie said, I don't accept his apology. And a lot of people are like, man, we need to forgive and all that. And I agree. Scripture teaches us in order for God to forgive us, we have to forgive. Unforgiveness is like drinking poison, hoping someone else die. But one thing I learned, bro, when somebody grieving, you have to give that person time. Man, my sister then lost her baby. My mama then lost her grandchild. I done lost a lot of my friends in my household. Travell then lost Day. Like, that's my other sister that lost her son. So I deal with death, and I ain't talking about regular death. I'm talking about kids getting killed at 19 and 20. And so a lot of times you can't go in there. You cannot do that. You cannot do that. You have to, those situations, you have to give that time. You can't hit nobody in the head with scripture or none of that. Sometimes you have to give it time. And sometimes you just have to pray for that person and just give it time. You had to give it time. And that's where Gillie at right now with it. He might not feel the same way 3 years from now, but you cannot force that on somebody, because they will lash out at you and you will lose a lifelong friend, a relative, someone you love, because they're grieving over a child, and you over here telling somebody they need to forgive the murderer or they need to move on and all that. You got to give that time and just pray for them and be there. I'm telling you from experience. And so I believe in order to be free, we have to forgive. We have to forgive. And so that ain't nothing you get when your kid die or something you just get overnight. That's that walk with God way before a tragedy happened. And so that's why it's so important for us to stay in scripture and stay in prayer and keep our relationship with God, because we understand that. And so when these tragedies happen, our heart is not hard. And now you take somebody who have a real relationship with God and just a sweet person, they take death different than a person who not a believer and have God in their life. I ain't saying nobody who don't go to church. I'm not talking about church or I'm talking about have a real relationship with God. People who do take death different than people who don't have a real deep, intimate relationship with God. And so it's a difference. You can't expect them just to be like, I forgive and all that. So that's why it's so important for us to have a relationship with God, because it gives us a grace anyway. And we understand, like, a lot of times, I ain't gonna get into that, but it comes with the relationship before the tragedies happen. And so we can't expect a person just to change like that and feel the way that we believe they should feel, because, man, they grieving, bro. They grieving. They might not ever get over that, and they might not ever forgive. But one thing I learned, it will make you bitter your whole life. It will age you prematurely, and you will be a mean-spirited person, because I'm telling you, man, holding unforgiveness is like drinking poison, hoping somebody else die. We have to forgive. It ain't even about that person. It's to free us. It's taking baggage off of us, and it's keeping a smile on our face, and it's giving us joy to understand nothing happened to me, it happened for me. Everything I go through is a teaching moment, and it's something to get me closer to my purpose. So, okay, I lost somebody close to me to gun violence. And so now I learned the lessons in that, how to get over the grieving and how to heal. And now God can use me to help other people and other parents and other uncles and other friends who are going to lose somebody to gun violence. And now I could teach them and I could bring them closer to God, because I've been through it. And so when we get to that point, that's when we walking in our God-given purpose, and we can live in peace. When we understand I had to go through this so God could use me to help other people, and now I could serve. But everybody, we can't expect everybody to look at it like that, because everybody don't have that intimate relationship with God. And so we will run somebody good out of our life. You shall forgive. And so we have to give people time and just pray for them. And that's my thoughts on Gillie not accepting Charleston White apology. And I'm out.